to Quilting Beauty and Books, my corner of YouTube. I pray that you and your family are all doing well today and that you enjoy today's video. Guys, it's that time of the month again. No, not that time. It is the time to wrap up everything that I did in the month of September. I can't say it was a lot that I did, but I did push myself a lot into the reading because there are times when I just did not feel like reading and I was reading anyhow. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into this video, shall we? Okay, I have my handy dandy calendar here and let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's start off with devotion. Last month I explained to you what I wanted to do this month for the month of September was to, instead of using a devotional book, I wanted to concentrate on prayer and praise and worship. These two are my weakest areas, I want to say, and therefore I wanted to hit it for a whole month to see, so I can learn more about my weaknesses. I wanted to learn more about prayer. I wanted to learn how to correctly do praise and worship. And is there a right way or a wrong way to do them? To me, I feel that there is. I wanted to connect. That's what I should say. I wanted to connect more when I am in prayer and when I am praising and worship. So I did that. I'm excited. I enjoyed that time. And I will be doing it again probably for the month of November as well. I continued with my scripture writing. I do follow the Beloved Society's 2019 scripture writing plan. I did that for the month of September. And I also did John chapters 14, 15, 16, and 17 with Kim Cash Tate. I will link her channel up here. And she is doing the John Bible studies. So I am in love with Kim Cash Tate. I am in love with how she teaches the Word of God, and it has been a phenomenal experience with her doing her Cling series. And let's see. Oh, and as you can tell, again, everybody already knows September was my birthday month, and I got something done, as you can already see. I am tired of my loose natural hair. So what I did was I am going back to my locks. Now, I'm not the girl that if you're going to come over to this channel and you're going to learn how to take care of your locks and do all those cute styles and stuff like that. No, I have a loctician that does that for me. So, but if you want to come along with me on my lock journey, feel free, come on over. We can do this together if you want to. But no, I am 1 weekend today. 1 week tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow. 1 week tomorrow. Yeah. I got them done actually on my birthday, so it was a really sweet treat for me. If you hear somebody in the background, then of course that is my 4-legged baby because he cannot be on the other side of the door when I'm recording. But he is going to make his presence known. If you don't see him, he's going to be tiptoeing across the floor. Okay? So that's what. And I wanted to show you just a little makeup. I completed in the month of September. I completed using my Tarte Precision Longwear Liner. I completed the Lancome Monsieur Big. I love this, but when I noticed that when it was getting like older, my eyes started to irritate a lot more. So if I decide to buy this again, I will try not using it as long as the 3 months that they tell us to use it for. Now, the one that I didn't like, but I'm finding that I am loving, is the Extended Wear by MAC. It is the Bluetooth with I'll show you guys that one later one day. But I wasn't a big fan of it going in, and I wanted to hurry up and use it. But I have started to really This one is the MAC roller wheel. I'm gonna let this one roll right out of my life permanently. I hated this product. One, it looked so wet. I don't know if I got any left in here. Yeah, I think I quit using it before I didn't even care. It stayed looking that wet, and I'm like, I don't like that. I do not like that. And then it started flaking. That's not me at all. And also for the month of September, I used every single one of my Tarte palettes. I know I showed them to you before, but I will show them to you again and try not to blind you with the mirror. But that one, I really did like this one. I really did like this. This will be a great one to travel with. This one I thought would be a great one to play with, but it's only 2 colors in here that I absolutely liked. And that was these 2 right here. The other ones, I thought I could use that as an eyeshadow if I didn't like it as a blush. I couldn't stand that color. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. And then I use my Tartelette in Bloom. I'm gonna tell you, I really, really like this palette. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 colors out of all of these that I can only wear. And I mean, it was good. I really did like this palette, but again, it reminded me too much of Urban Decay's Naked palette, where it was just too ashy for my skin tone. So, I don't know. This one is the original Tartelette palette, and it's all mattes. I really liked every one of these except these 3 right here. I couldn't stand these 3. But the other ones I did like playing with. And my favorite out of all the palettes is the Tartelette Toasted palette. Gorge. Every single color. Gorgeous. Now, if I had to choose these 2, I will keep. The rest of them, I'm going to either sell them, get rid of them, get them out of my collection because I don't need them. I don't need them. But what I didn't show you was in the month of my October Goals video was palettes, eyeshadow palettes I'll be using for the month of October. So I'm going to go ahead and share them with you now. I'll be using 2 of my minty palettes I have from Juvia's Place. For all the makeup lovers out there, please don't fuss at me. I know she's full of drama, but I love the product. I love the product, and I really wasn't following all of that behind the scenes mess. I just don't follow it. I don't stay with drama. I don't do drama channels and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I am using her Afrique palette and the Masquerade palette. I'm going to show you both of these palettes, but aren't the artwork on these covers amazing? Gorgeous. This one is the Afrique. Look at the inside cover. But those colors are gorgeous. And this is the one I have on primarily on my eyes. Today I use the Dakar, I use the Fifi, and I use, I think it's called pronounced Mentois color. Those are the ones I use today. Oh, and I use Kessie and the Kofi as well. Masquerade. Now, one thing I do like about her palettes is that she carries the artwork on the inside. There are no mirrors. Therefore, she can keep her prices really, really nice and lovely. So, if you want some good, colorful palettes and stuff like that, please check her out. If you don't care for all the drama, don't check her out. But if you can stomach it and you just want some good quality and affordable, she is now in Ulta as well, so you can possibly use those Ulta coupons and stuff for these palettes. And she has them marked down a lot of times where you can get these palettes for half price. So please go ahead and use it because the quality is amazing. Very, very pigmented. Love Juvia's Place palettes. Okay, that's it for makeup. Let's talk about some books, shall we? The first book I want to talk to you guys about is My Big Bottom Blessing, and it's by T.C. Cannon. This book, I love this book. I really, really do, because as you can see, I'm a curvy girl. And she's a curvy girl who had to learn to love her body, love the skin that she was in. And as she was loving the skin she was in, she had to fight some demons along the way to get to the root of the problem of, one, what was she doing and why did it all start and all that kind of good stuff. And you had, oh my gosh, she asked some questions. Like every tab here are prayers. Every tab, every chapter had questions. I mean, get down to the nitty gritty questions. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. I learned that I use food as comfort, and I also learned that I use food when I am stressed. So I need to learn how to combat that, and that is one of the reasons why I chose to read this book, so I can get to the bottom of what is causing me to pick up this weight. And also, not only that, I also wanted to share with you guys one day, it'll be soon, my journey of I'm getting back down to a healthy weight, getting back down to a size that I am comfortable with, because right now I am not comfortable, and it is a lot due to my health. A lot of things are going on, and one day I will share all that part of my testimony with you guys as well. So just bear with me and give me probably about a month or so, and I will definitely be talking to you guys about all of this. Another book that I read is by Tessa Afshar, and it is called The Bread of Angels. This book was good. I am such a fan of Tessa's. I love actually a lot. I have a lot of authors that I was sleeping on, and or just I love to read. And I'm really not the one who can say, oh, that book really, really sucked, because someone did put their heart and soul into every book that they wrote. And I wouldn't want my books or anything that I do to be criticized that bad, but I am my own worst critic, okay? If I say something sucked that I did, I know it sucked. You can't tell me, can't nobody else tell me. I'm gonna know. So I tend not to say something really sucked, especially when it comes to a book. But let me make sure. But I will say, I just, I'll tell you that if it was a book that was hard for me to get into, or I'll just tell you that I really didn't care for the book. But I'm not gonna sit and bash any author. But I'm gonna be 100% on anything that I review. And when I say I really, really like this author, I mean I really like this author. I'm not getting paid to like an author. None of that. I really love Tessa and her books. I think I only have three more of her books to read prior to the new one coming out. Ooh, I can't wait to see that one, because that cover is cute. Now you're right. That cover is freaking amazing. This book, oh my gosh, it followed a lady named Lydia. She is the maker of the color purple. Oh my gosh. This woman went through some heartache. You hear me? From the leaders trying to, sabotage her father's business and sabotage her and run her from one, I'm going to call it a state, because I would have lived back then, and it made it sound like from here to there, which was like million miles away. So I'm going to say it was from, let's do it by states. So I live in North Carolina, so I'm going to say all the way to California, so all the way across the globe. She had to travel to go to be in another community that she didn't want to be in. But guess what? She went and thrived and made it happen and found someone to stand in her corner. Another woman who had power and prestige, and and it take no mess from nobody, okay? Oh, it was so amazing to go along with Lydia and her journey, and then find someone interesting and all that kind of good stuff. So if you are a fan of Tessa, or if you're not a fan of Tessa, I'm going to tell you, read Land Before Silence first, and then this one. Because I love that book. But this one, I love all of her books, but this one is a close second to it. I really, really, really enjoyed reading this book, and I look forward to reading our next one by Tessa. This one is by Melanie Dickerson, and this is The Fairest Beauty. I read this one. I like this book. I really, really did. And I think what I'm finding is, I know that this book is intended for teens. I'm a grown-tail woman reading this book. So, but I love Disney, and I love all the fairy tales and all that good stuff. So that is why I read these type of books, especially the retelling of especially any kind of princess and all that kind of stuff. That's why I read them. But this one, the stepmom, she was too much, Melanie. She made me want to come through this book and grab a hold of her from on page 4. She took me from 0 to 10 in 4 pages, and I'm like, you gotta give me a little bit before you just like body slam me. And in fact, I want to say it was on page 1. Let me not tell y'all no tale. It was on page 1 of chapter 9 when the stepmom started being evil. And I'm like, dang on. But I mean, she took you through from beginning to end. Let me tell you this. What I did love about this one is that the main character, she knew God from day one. So it wasn't like this one was the one that had to find God and didn't him and hawing, about who God was and all this kind of stuff. No, not her. She's like, I know that's a lie. Because God said, God is. And I loved it. So I take my, what I was saying a few minutes ago back, because this girl was phenomenal. She was like, no, not my God. That's not what God said. And mom said she was ugly. The stepmom was like, you're ugly. And she's like, no, I'm not. Love that about her and her strength and the men that she placed. And then when it got to the 7 dwarfs, or it wasn't the 7 dwarfs in here, it was the 7, the cottage of the 7. So they were just like misfits. I love that she changed them up, and they were so funny. God knows they were funny. So I really did like this one. I take that back. I did like this one. I really, really did. My next one is by Janice Cantor and it's called Crisis Shots. I cannot wait to get book 2 of this. When I tell you what I was getting confused, this main character, she knew God. It wasn't no question, no ands, if and buts about it. But this chick right here, main character, she ain't had nothing to do with no God. You know, not right now. I believe she is going to change her faith or her feelings about God soon. But oh my gosh, this book right here, I was looking. This is a fiction, romance, suspense book. Hunted, it was good. It was good. I mean, you went from a police officer who was what was she, a commander? No, a chief. Whatever she was high ranking. Her father was a police officer, and something happened. It became a media frenzy. She won the case and still got put out. So she went to apply for somewhere else. Of course, she didn't want to go and all that kind of stuff. She went, and then all of a sudden there was another high profile of things. Both, I think it was 2 stories, and now all of a sudden they merged together, and then she met a guy, and then, it was just like, she'd be like, I don't do, co-workers and stuff like that, but even though he wasn't really a co-worker, and she had to find out, go through some prejudiceness from her co-workers, and it wasn't like prejudice as from, do I want to say prejudice? Discrimination. That's the word I want to use. She was discriminated against because she was a woman. And not only because she was a woman, she was an outside woman. She wasn't a local woman. So I kind of understand that. I understand what she was going through at that phase. Because when I moved here to North Carolina from Wisconsin, hunty, I moved into a very, very small town here. They called it a city, but it only had one stoplight, so what no city. It wasn't a city to me. But it was a gentleman there who was also from Wisconsin. I had my Wisconsin license plates on my car, and he said, "Hunty, you need to hurry up and get them license plates off your car because you are being picked out to be picked on because of that." So I knew exactly what she was going through. Good book. Can't wait to read book number 2. The next one was the first book I read for the month of September. I couldn't wait to get into this one. This one is called The Murder at the Flamingo, and it is by Rachel McMillan. This book was good. I didn't like the ending because I felt that it was too crowded at the end. But other than that, it was good. It was slow. A lot of it was slow, and I think that was because she had to build up the characters so you can get to know the characters. And I did read that she is a big baseball fan. So she put a little bit of her own loves into this book, and that's what I really, really liked. And I think it's set in the year of 1937. No, I don't want to lie to you. Yeah, 1937. And this young man who was a lawyer, he had to deal with about panic attacks and anxiety. And she takes you through several of his panic attacks and anxiety. She just don't say he's having one. She's telling how he's feeling and stuff like that. I think that's the first book that I read that dealt like head on with it. And I loved it. Again, I already explained that I myself suffer through panic attacks and anxiety, depression, and all that kind of good stuff. But, well, it's not good when you're going through it, but that kind of stuff. So, it was really good that she shared that, and then you had this high society girl who was like hoity-toity, I mean posh, everything. Mom and dad had tons of dough, didn't know what to do with it, but that's how it was back then. When you had all the high society things, and then all of a sudden that mom throw this big party, and her boyfriend, he was her boyfriend to him, but he was a friend to her, and he announces, guess what, everybody? And she was like, and the devil? So she ran off, and they both ran off to Boston, and eventually they met because of his cousin, and then was her boss. They met because of them, and then something fishy was going on, and they got in the midst of some mess and met people along the way that that they can share this journey with. And it was a good book once it got over the buildup of the characters. I mean, because that buildup went all the way through halfway of this book. And that's why I'm like, Jesus, this book is slow. But then it picked up, and then it slowed down again, and then all of a sudden it got really, really crowded in the end. So I did, once I do my haul video for the month of October, I did go ahead and purchase book number 2, because I feel like now that the buildup is over, I believe book number 2 is going to be amazing. Another book that I read for the month of September was Dr. Leslie Parrott's Soul Friends. This book, I'm still writing. Each chapter had questions. I'm still working on those questions. So this was a really, really good book. Really good book. And it is talking about a sisterhood. It is talking about ways to grow your faith, ways to think not everything doesn't necessarily have to be this way or this way. We are an amazing, I won't call us creatures, but we are an amazing creation that God has made. And we are unique in that we don't have to be comparing ourselves to other women. We don't have to compare ourselves or compete in the world of men, because God has given us each a place. And this book is discussing how we're to, one, find that place, and then to rock being in that place, and not be afraid, and not surrender or give away what God has given you to do in this world. So this was an amazing book. And here is another book that I read for the month of September. It's called A Royal Dance, and it's by Linda Ferguson. This is book number 1 in the Lion and the Butterfly series. This book was amazing. I did a buddy read with Nay over at Daughter of Increase. Her channel is right here. I'm telling you, me and Nay, we went back and forth on this book with the commentary. You hear me? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can't accurately describe this book. I thought I was going to do a reading vlog with this one. I didn't like any of the clips because they didn't come out right. They were really, really blurry and stuff like that, and they were really, really bouncy. So when we finish reading the entire series, I might put them together and tell you guys more in depth about it. I'm going to tell you right now, it's about a young girl who had an amazing relationship with her father. Something happened to her that destroyed that relationship with her father, and she had nothing to do with her because of something else was going on with her mother's life. They end up being separated from her father, and life without her father was really, really hard, and some tragic things happened to this young girl, and she carried it and held on to it as she was growing up, and she was learning how to um, figure out for herself who Jesus is. Jesus is in this book, but she didn't know that he was the true Savior until she was older. And when she did, she was like, oh, if you was all that, you knew what was going on and you did nothing. And so she had to learn how to forgive, and she had to learn how to let go. She learned to learn how to trust. And going along with her on that journey was freaking amazing. I cannot wait to read book number 2. The last book I started, I did not complete it. I'm still reading it. And I think this is October 3rd right now that I'm recording this. I am still reading Sing, and it is by Keith and Kristen Getty. This book it is really, really good. It is about I'm not going to say the art, but it is about singing with the congregation and how you're to do it. You know, you just don't, it's like, oh, you're not just singing or mouthing the words and stuff like that. It is about focusing on and really singing, because who are you singing to? You know, surely you don't want a rock crying out for you. Therefore, you know, it is, I don't want to say the art of it, but, you know, just being at one with it while you're singing. So far, I'm really, really enjoying this book, and I can't wait to give you guys a proper review of it next month. So that's all I have for you guys today. Books. I told you about what I did, you know, through my planner and stuff like that. I showed you the makeup that I use and everything like that. If you have any questions about anything that I shared, please go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. If you have any other questions, something that you like to ask or something you like to know, go ahead and leave that also in the comments below. Like and share this video. Subscribe if you have not, and while you're subscribing, go ahead and hit that bell, and so you'll be updated and notified of my next upload. Until the next video, guys, be blessed. Bye.